Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I want to share some kind of node setup that's basically kind of rooting from this question by David McSween. So we have some kind of webbing here with different rainbow color, and I kind of interested to recreate this in geometry nodes. So there's a thread here there, that you can follow and try to find your own solutions. I have an example solution here using geometry nodes. In the past, I have shown something similar using sphere. So basically, for this to work, you need to have two curves that you draw. In this case, I can delete everything. I can redraw the whole thing, like the heart shape, and then also we need the circle, and the webbing will be created automatically. Okay, so more or less it's kind of doing its job. Maybe there are some part that's not perfect, but I will explain my solution anyway. So two curve coming into geometry nodes, and we can separate the geometry. We can separate the spline this way. Also, so there's a two curves, right? And we can separate it. Okay, if index equal to 0, separate that spline, and then the rest of the spline goes to here. So it got separated, and I just enable cyclic for both of them. So the circle and the heart shape should be cyclic. That's first of all. The rest seems kind of daunting, but don't worry, it's gonna be pretty simple. We've done this a couple of times. So first, let's save this just in case it crashes. First, we can do like a resample, right, of the heart shape. We can also do a resample of the circular shape. So that's pretty simple. And then we want to connect the dots, right? More or less that's our task. It's actually pretty simple. Just first of all, I will do some kind of curve resampling, and this is just so we can sample the points of the curve. Like if you want to do it like multiple times, we can do it this way quite easily, because we can using these nodes and the points nodes together, we can have like unlimited curve points that's kind of doing it multiple times. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind, and that's possible because we can use the position of points on the curve and then do this factoring that's with fractions. So this kind of the nodes anyway kind of work together that way to do the resampling. So we do it the same thing on both curve. So once we have the points, the rest is actually pretty easy, sort of. So we have 2 points, one representing the heart shapes, the other one is the circle outside. So we will be using geometry proximity. If you want to know how this works, check the online manual. Geometry proximity, probably not very clear, but anyway, we can use the points and then find the nearest points and connect the dots that way. But in the geometry nodes sense, if we have heart shapes like this, the way to do it is to instance a bunch of lines first. Okay, and then with this bunch of lines, we just simply need to find the endpoints and then connect it to the nearest points out there. So that's basically our task. Okay, how to erase it? Okay, so that's why we have is instance on points, and then we have curve lines. Okay, by using that, what we're gonna get is something like this. Oh, it's actually the outer parts, not the heart shapes. That's okay. So we kind of have these things, right? Kind of like lines being instance on the points, and all we need to do is from with these instance lines, we just realize the instances, and then use the endpoints, and then set the endpoints position into this geometry proximity, right? It's pretty simple. And then we just connect the dots. The rest of them just curve to mesh, join geometry. You know the drill. It's that's pretty much it. So let's see. So we have control over kind of like a search line, you know, like we want, if we use we have this geometry proximity, but these lines that's kind of all over the place, right? Need some kind of search radius, and it's defined by this instance of lines. So the lines kind of spreading all over the place, and this scale will control it. There's actually a YouTube video that explains this kind of clearly. Oops, okay, where's the other one? Create wires with geometry. Yeah, I think this YouTube video explained the whole thing to create the lines, how to connect the dots. In my case, we have two lines, and I'm trying to connect the dots, so it's kind of similar. Anyway, we get the webbing. We can reverse the lines here. So yeah, I'm reversing the lines now. The webbing will comes from the heart and gets connected to the outer part. If you look at this, it reminds you kind of like for a bicycle, the bicycle wheels, right? We need to connect certain points with certain points, and yeah, similar type of webbing. There's probably like math behind it. But that's basically the process, you know. There might be a better way to do this, but I think this is the easiest. So you just simply get the points of the shapes, and then you create the webbing using the instance of lines, and then just connect the endpoints using geometry proximity. So the whole setup is only like this. So curve 1, curve 2, resample, we get the points, and then instance lines on points, realize the lines, set the endpoint position of the lines, connect it into this geometry proximity. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Hopefully you find it useful. As for the color, if you want to do the coloring thing like this, somehow sample the points that's being connected, right? And then reorder it, and then you turn the points into curve, and then you colorize the curve. I think you should get something similar, more or less. All right, so it's a nice art, webbing art, that you can do it manually, physically, or just do it in Blender using geometry nodes. All right, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.